Now we finally come to an episode that was pushed back nearly 4 months, but was it worth the wait? Let's find out by taking a look at the faults in our Cutie marks. Taking pride in how many ponies they have helped since discovering their purpose in life, the Cutie Mark Crusaders now face easily their toughest challenge yet, when a griffin named Gabby drops by their clubhouse hoping that she can use their help to acquire her own Cutie Mark. The idea of anyone other than a pony being capable of receiving a Cutie Mark seems impossible, but despite these odds, the CMC are still dedicated to trying their best. I would have to say that this is probably one of the most anticipated episodes of the season, mainly due to how the concept of a griffin possibly getting a Cutie Mark was teased months ago, and also because, as previously mentioned, this one was pushed back for a while, and at one point was going to be featured on a DVD release, thereby extending the curiosity. It turns out the reason for the delay was simply so they could have a CMC episode in the second half of the season. You could argue that they already had one with the cart before the ponies, but since that episode received generally negative reviews, it was actually for the best that they kept this one for backup, especially for writer Ed Valentine, as The Fault in Our Cutie Marks is a simply stellar episode. The story starts off with an excellent stepping stone for the Crusaders, as they have all grown in confidence with their destinies and have started building a hugely positive reputation across Ponyville for their work. The CMC are soon introduced to their new griffin friend, who proves to be yet another fantastic new character for this season. Immediately from her first moment, Gabby is extremely likeable with her highly excitable and bubbly personality that distinctively sets her apart from all the other griffins. And even with her endless optimism and incredibly hyper nature, she's never annoying, and her ambition and determination to never give up makes the episode all the more engaging and bittersweet at the same time. She's striving for something that she's unlikely to ever receive, but when you see just how much she desires it and how much effort she's willing to put in to work towards it, you still want her story to have a happy ending. The episode makes some of the best uses of continuity the show has provided in ages, including callbacks to the Cutie Pox, On Your Marks, The Lost Treasure of Griffinstone, and perhaps most notably, Valentine's debut, Flight to the Finish. One scene sees Scootaloo assure Gabby that they will get her a Cutie Mark no matter what it takes, and it brilliantly draws reference to her inability to fly. While she soon comes to regret giving their new griffin friend false hope, the way Scootaloo identifies with the feeling of desiring something that seems impossible to acquire gives her a very believable reason to show compassion towards Gabby and say this to her. When the Crusaders get to work in helping their new friend, the result is another top-notch blend of classic and contemporary feels and atmosphere. As the team go crusading once more, there's a great essence of nostalgia here, as it feels very reminiscent of an old CMC episode from the first couple of seasons, while passing on their knowledge to a new and hopeful individual shows how far they've come and how much they've truly grown up over their journey. It also wouldn't be a CMC episode without a great CMC song, and this one certainly delivers the goods with one titled Find the Purpose in Your Life. An excellently put together and catchy tune that breezily moves the story along with wonderful lyrics and delightful spirits. As for other characters, Twilight features here in a terrific supporting role, as she tries to offer helpful support and advice to the CMC with their challenge. Later on in the episode, when she hears that they've somehow managed to make Gabby become the first griffin in history to supposedly earn a Cutie Mark, her ecstatic reaction, which sees her immediately rushing off to do a research project on the subject, is a hilarious slice of classic adorable Twilight just the way we love her. I don't know about you though, but I couldn't help but wonder what happened after she eventually found out the truth. That being that Gabby actually painted a Cutie Mark on herself after the Crusaders failed to help her. You'd think she would have done this out of depression and desperation, but in a really nice surprise, it turns out that she did it because she didn't want the CMC to feel like they had let her down. This selfless act of kindness is where Gabby finally learns that her true purpose in life is to be helpful to everyone around her, and she should pursue this because it makes her happy. Which leads to a brilliantly uplifting message reminding viewers that it's important to do what you do mostly because it's what you enjoy doing. The idea that getting a positive feeling of achievement from something that's meaningful to you is a far greater reward than any physical one is a tremendous moral to get across to kids as well. Rather than go for a predictable miracles can happen cliche by giving Gabby an actual cutie mark, the CMC specially craft her one just like theirs and make her a new crusader, and it rounds the episode off with a simply heartwarming conclusion that makes every character happy. It's a little too soon to say whether it is the absolute best of the season so far, but The Fault in Our Cutie Marks is certainly up there. It has adorable characters, an engrossing and consistently sweet narrative, an outstanding musical number, and a lovely and endearing message, all of which are bundled together to create one immensely lovable episode. For all its achievements, it may not be able to earn its own cutie mark, but it does earn its own special golden star, because I'm scoring it a 10 out of 10.